Welcome, ghosts and ghouls. It's actually been a bit since I've done a solo stream, hasn't it? Well, this time I'm sporting a slightly modified version of my rig. I want to try and make this more of more of my normal model now. We'll see how well it works in the end and stuff like that. But for now, I'm gonna head back into Castlevania Curse of Darkness, a game that I've stated many times is near and dear to my heart. Now, it has been a little bit since I've played, so chances are I have no idea where I am. Yeah, I don't. Well, we'll figure that out as we go along. Whatever the case may be, I hope everyone has had a nice day and has also, just generally had a positive experience this weekend, the last. If not, I hope that this coming week will treat you much better. I'm trying to remember what I was supposed to be doing around here. Okay, so just a bunch of flea men there. Yeah, I've actually been fairly busy with a lot of things. I got a job, I did a few shifts, and I'm slowly figuring out a schedule for myself, because I'm not entirely sure, like, how active my job will be just yet. But if it's anything like it appears to be right now, I should be able to stream fairly regularly. As long as I, don't pass out immediately. I have a tendency to nap after I finish work. can I say? Naps are nice. Trying to remember the layout of this place. If I remember correctly, this area is... Yeah, I do have a jaw now. I wanted to try and add it because it was starting to bother me how the teeth looked when I was speaking. So I tried that out, and I actually kind of liked the result. And welcome, Osai, by the way. That's what those things are. Okay. Also, I think the chat box might not be working. I'm not sure. Well, it'll work, I guess. Whatever the case may be. I've been away from, you know, customizing things in terms of the stream itself. I've mostly been trying to fix that issue that I was having when I was doing Satisfactory. And I think I actually finally figured it out. It turns out I had an NVENC thing enabled called Psycho Visual Tuning, which is supposed to make fast-paced games easier on encoding or something, or like look nicer in the encoding. But the trouble that comes with it is that it uses additional GPU power, which, when playing stuff like Satisfactory or Apex, is very much needed. Also, I took way too many hits there. Pepper sword. Not exactly what I was hoping for. Punch rings. I need to actually start working more on my crafting, because that's the thing that I keep neglecting. Okay, I need bronze memories. But yeah, how have you been, Osai? Ceremonial tool. An ancient amber artifact used in ancient rituals. Ancient open techniques. I guess this. Oh, I think I remember this weapon. Yeah, that is a pretty hefty increase. Alright. Let's see, so I was heading towards this direction. Hot dog, in case I get needlessly beat up again. Ooh, level up. That's always helpful. see, I'm trying to remember what is achieved in this area. I believe, if I remember correctly, the boss is something underwater. I'm thinking of a... Oh wait, I'm thinking of a different area, I think. Because the water theming doesn't happen until Mortivia. Well, I found a save point, which is helpful, because that means health. Best damage, a wizard can out-heal everything. A lot of ancient memories, though, which is good, because I use that to craft quite a bit of things. Oh, that's a new enemy type. Ouch. Okay. Where's this in the map? A lot of wizards here. Ow. You deal with that boy, and I'm gonna deal with the wizard. There we go. Well, you don't require too many hits to take out a wizard. Right about here will eventually lead to that part, which I can actually take to the second floor, but I don't remember where this leads to. Floating swords. Ow. I got ramen from a ghost. I guess now everyone knows that if they beat me up, they'll get ramen. I seem to remember these guys having different models, but who knows? It's been quite literally years since I've properly played this game. Ouch. Just a hit hard. It'd also help if I didn't run straight into their attacks. demon. Let's see. So this is heading in its own direction. Wonder what will be here. I probably should have bought more potions, but hindsight's 20/20. Oh, another save point. Well, that's nice to have, because I am taking a lot of damage in this. Oh, there's a boss. No wonder why there's a save point. Now, what boss is this?
Wait! That crest! Are you the Devil Forge Master?
That whip. Could he be?
Answer me! Are you the Devil Forge Master?
I am.
Then this is the hour of your death.
Ouch. Oh, he's invulnerable. I see, it's a supposed to lose fight, isn't it? Better he has a lot more health. Okay, maybe it wasn't a supposed to lose fight.
Your evil power can't beat me!
I guess I have to just outlast him? I don't remember this fight very well. Let's see. What do I need to make? I need a leather helm. More defense should be nice. Zweihander. Okay, now I need ancient memories and steel. Save once more so I don't have to do the rest of that crafting. There's also a chance that I might be underleveled for that boss fight. I might actually just go explore in another direction, because even the enemies in that area were giving me a rough time. So chances are I'm just way too low level for it all. Also, let me see if I can do something real quick. There we go. I think that should help. I need to get better with heavier weapons. Knight's Vein. Well, I now know that this heads towards a boss room, which is probably where I don't want to be just yet. Let's see. So in that situation, I probably want to head... let's see if I can mark these. There was a button to do that. Oh wait, I didn't get the ability yet, if I recall. You need to unlock the ability to edit and put marks on your map. At least I think so. Yeah, I believe so. Alright. There's a lot of these angry swordsmen. So, if I head to the left, I should go where I want to be. Should. But... Ow. How is he doing on Evo crystals? 36? So he needs about 70 to evolve, meaning probably by the time I enter Mortivia, he should evolve once more. And airborne enemies in this game are not easy to hit. Or actually anything with a height advantage. Oh. Well, what's the point of that? Alright. What did I have registered? I don't remember what I had registered as my last save point, so this might be... That's quite a ways back. Okay. I need to remember to register my locations a little more often than that. news is I should be able to wipe the floor with anything here. I'll take this time to actually explore the regions that I didn't touch on earlier. Okay, he only had 11 health left. So, here I want to take a right. Got it. That takes care of the Cyclops and gives me a few more Evo crystals. Oh wait, I wasn't able to go here for a reason. This is where the blood skeletons were. Right. I remember now. Okay. So that wasn't explored for a very good reason. I imagine that would just lead to the same area. So the only other bit that I don't have explored is this bit here and a little piece right there. So other than that, I should be just heading straight towards the region that I had left. Alright. So there's a little portion off to the right side, far back, that I didn't explore? Is it because I don't have, like, the necessary tools to get to that region, or because I just completely skipped out on it? I don't have the tools, it looks like. There's a waterfall there. Okay. Jet black, I do need that. It's always very useful. Okay, so this path is the one that I did not take earlier. It would appear that, yeah, a lot of these enemies are quite underleveled to me now. So I'm thinking that I took like a wrong turn or something, because aside from the boss, most things were not too hard. Unless that boss was supposed to be one of those things where it's like, oh, he's super hard, but you have to whittle him down just enough. Which, honestly, screw those kinds of boss fights. If you're gonna let me lose, just let me lose. Honestly, most of the time games handle their, you know, forced to lose scenarios. They're kind of, I guess the best way to put it is poorly done. Because a lot of the time, it's not easy to tell if it's a supposed to lose fight. A pretty good example of that, what is its name? It's one of the Tales of games. I think it was Vesperia? I don't remember anymore. I should replay that series at some point. It's been a while since I've touched that as well. Oh. Yeah, there's an evolution. Or, wait, nope. A Devil Shard. So I have an egg now. I can hatch that and make a new battle type Innocent Devil, which is really good because that means you never have to worry about being stuck with your choices. So let's say I didn't really like this evolution that I got for this boy. Not a problem. It's all good in the neighborhood. Aluminum. I'm trying to remember where I got steel from. Just kind of exploded. Let's see, I didn't explore the entirety of this room. Not that it's particularly worth it. But map completion is map completion, right? This should lead us back to where we were. And if I recall, I didn't actually explore the sidelines. That's on me. Okay, I'm full on magic tickets. I guess the max is 9. So when the hell did you start being a VTuber? The beginning of this month, more or less? I believe so, at least. And welcome that one, Hollow. We need to toy with the cooldown timer of the chat log. But yeah, I've been doing this for a little bit at the very least. New fad, trend, whichever. Well, I did it primarily because I wanted to have like something webcam-like, but I didn't want to actually show my face. And this actually happened to be exactly what I kind of needed. So it works out for me. I guess everyone has their own reasons for doing it. Some people want to play a character, some people are legitimately just chasing the trend. Others? Who knows? But I imagine the majority of the people who do it are just shy like me. So, kind of recent thing, but apparently everyone seems to jump on the... Well, I imagine so, because it's very, very appealing for those who are more on the shy end of things. And there's a lot of shy people these days. Plus, it gives people a reason to showcase their own art if they're willing to make it themselves. For example, the one that I'm using is indeed something that I have made myself. It took, roughly 6 hours to get the original first rig done. And then I made this current one that I'm using in a matter of, I think about like 2 hours. It didn't take long because I was more familiar with the systems. Oh, these things are so annoying. They also fling your camera in every direction. Let's see. Ouch. I believe I'm heading towards the area that I want to be in. If not, I'm going in like a weird tangent area. Which there are plenty of those in this game. In fact, I would say the abandoned castle is the perfect example of all of that. You go in one place and God knows if it's a dead end or if it actually is where you need to be. Also Castlevania Pokemon Edition. It's closer to Tamagotchi, really. Because you have to raise these using Evo crystals that you get for attacking and killing enemies with certain weapon types. So, like, right now I'm using a sword, and if I kill while having that sword equipped, I get red Evo crystals, and I need so many red Evo crystals to evolve this thing. In fact, I think Beefcake here is actually close to leveling up. Let me check. 55... Kind of. He needs to reach 70, and... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Azure Dreams and Jade Cocoon. I've heard of Jade Cocoon, but not Azure Dreams. Ah, speaking of that marker mode that I wanted to use, like, earlier, there it is. In a random room that you probably would avoid if you were just trying to go from point A to point B. But yeah, I actually really like this game. It received not very great attention when it first came out. I believe it was like 60%, something like that, typically. And I think the main thing that was criticized was actually the camera for this game, which is understandable because this camera goes apeshit. let's see. I did not fully explore the upper region of this map. Okay. And yeah, Azure Dreams is like ancient, and we're talking PS1 era. Basically, you capture, tame, train monsters to explore a tower full of monsters and to reach the top. Ah. I'll have to look into that, because I've primarily been playing a lot of older games when I'm not, like, cooperating with the rest of the VCATs. When we are playing, it's been stuff like, let's see. We've played Satisfactory. We have plans to eventually play Apex Legends together, and we've done a little bit of League of Legends as well, and that was something. Yeah, my debut stream as a VTuber was Shining Force, so I'm pretty familiar with older games. I'm not good at them, but I am familiar with them. Gonna fall there infinitely because he can't actually raise it. Would also depend on getting a copy of it. I mean, it's 1997 and God knows what my copy went. Yeah, that is the hard part, because right now what I'm emulating, and yes I am emulating, this is actually a copy of my game though. I actually have the disc right next to me, amongst all my other PS2 games, like Stretch Panic, Klonoa 2, Door to Phantomile, I'm trying to remember what other PS2 games I have. I've also got Castlevania Lament of Innocence, which I don't remember liking as much as Curse of Darkness. But yeah, emulation does work, and I would say it's generally easier for stuff like, you know, the PS2 era and PlayStation 1. The only exception is trying to get like an ISO dump of GameCube games. You need like a very special disk drive for that. Okay, so this just loops in on itself, so I do actually have to fight Trevor and win. Let's see, I think thus far, ironically, I think new PS and Xbox should be easier to emulate since it's how they're programmed. True, but I don't know, when it comes to newer consoles, I feel like I shouldn't emulate them, if that makes any sense. Like, I think the latest I'm willing to go at the moment is PlayStation 2 and GameCube. Maybe with the Wii. Because I did do an ISO dump of my copy of Metroid Prime Trilogy, so that is something I eventually want to stream, but my Wiimote and Nunchuck are both fried, so I have to get new ones of those, and trying to get those these days, that is a story in and of itself. I get it, just saying that arguably PS4 emulation should, based on coding, be a lot better than PS2 emulation. Possibly. It also heavily depends on what kind of architecture it has beyond, you know, just the base, like, Linux-esque thing it's got. there's a lot that goes into emulation, and for example, the original Xbox is currently one of the few things that just isn't emulated properly yet. The only people who actually have that emulated properly are, you know, Microsoft themselves with their backwards compatibility. Which is a shame. Oh, I looked into this. While it was marketed as being comparable to computers in power, the original Xbox was nothing like a computer, and it is famously difficult to emulate. I hear the best emulation, even currently available, isn't great. That is very true. In fact, right now, I believe they're using a certain racing game as testing for that, and at the moment it can display graphics, but they are a little choppy and textures are prone to coming up as garbage textures instead, as well as the fact that sound does not play at the moment. I still own a functioning unmodded PlayStation, like that big fat gray brick, not the PS1. Yeah, I still have my PlayStation 2 Slim, though I need to get a new one because in the move, the mover guys, I guess, didn't treat it very properly because the disc bay does not work anymore. And it was working before I moved. Which is a shame, but that's why I'm emulating. That, and I also don't have a capture card. I hope to get a capture card at some point, because another game that I'd like to play on stream would be Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which I didn't give enough of a chance yet. Oh, and welcome to Hero 2, I forgot to say that. Old consoles, I forget what it's called, but they use an entirely different code framework. I used to know what it was called as well. But you basically have to emulate the game and the console itself, which is why emulation got worse with newer consoles. Yeah, and I think at the moment I'm fine with emulation as it is. I do hope that... Ooh, evolution! What did he turn into? I forgot the pathing. Oh, there we go. Juggernaut. If I remember correctly, he gets a pretty good ability. Xbox is your first console. Everything older than a GameCube is considered retro and ancient to me. For me, my first ever console was, funnily enough, Super Nintendo, despite the fact that I'm only 22. And that's because I was raised off of, well, you know, old consoles. And the first game that I actually properly remember is Doom Troopers on the SNES. But as for the first console I owned personally, it would actually have to be, I'd probably say the PlayStation 2. Which is kind of ironic now that I think about it, because I had more games for the GameCube than I did the PlayStation 2. Do you guys remember Piano 3? I have the disc for that around here. Your oldest console, which you still have that works, is the SNES. Yeah. I had an SNES before we eventually sold it. Got my PlayStation before I got my SNES, but SNES is obviously older based on release. Yeah, that's one way to look at it for sure. for me, like, I think the oldest console, like, in terms of when it was released, was an Atari 2600. I never actually played it because, I don't know, none of the games for the Atari 2600 really interested me when I was a kid. This boy stands still. I think, of the console I played the most, though, it would actually have to be the Xbox, the original one. And that's entirely because my brother and I used to play Halo 1 and 2 all the goddamn time. In fact, my brother and I actually started a Halo 2 Legendary run somewhat recently with its release on PC. We've nearly beaten the game. Which, if any of you know how difficult Legendary is on Halo 2, you should know that that was a lot of patience. And a lot of deaths. Like, a lot of deaths. Couldn't tell you for sure who died the most, though. Man, I still remember, like, coming home from school, my brother and I, and we would just boot up Halo 1 and try to complete as many of the missions as we could in consecutive order. Our favorite mission in the first Halo was Silent Cartographer, which I guess is kind of a unanimous opinion. I just remember the last two levels, we couldn't actually run because our disc was so scratched. So I didn't actually know the final two levels until recently, where I got to play through them all and everything. Oh, hi Savvy. How are you doing? Scratch disc, which can happen even without any actual scratches. Yeah, I did have issues with that. Doing well. Hope you're doing well too. So far so good. I have today and tomorrow off, which is always nice. Not having work. As much as I like being paid, sometimes it's nice to just have time to yourself, right? Yeah, disc scratching was very common for my brother and I, because we used to wear our games out through continuous play. I believe another game of ours that had been worn was Super Paper Mario on the Wii, which is a shame, because I remember really liking it. Oh, right, we also completely scratched up our disc of, shoot, what was it? Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, that's what it was. We scratched our disc of that. Super Paper Mario was your favorite too? Yeah, I remember it being really charming. I'll have to see if I can get a disc and do an ISO dump of it at some point. Because I remember really liking that game. Though, I remember a lot of people didn't really like it when it was first, you know, out, because it was so different from the other Paper Mario games. I remember loving my disc of Indiana Jones and the Dragon's Heart, or Heart of the Emperor, or whatever, for the Xbox. But one day I opened the disc box and saw a dead bug inside. You don't know how it got inside, but from that day on, the disc never worked, even though... That's really weird, yeah. Funny how the old games, cartridges and all, never break like discs do. Yeah, they don't break the same way. They do still break, though. I remember our cartridge of Quest 64 was very scuffed. Brian, the main character, whenever he cast... What spell was it again? Magic Barrier. I think that was one of the Earth spells in the game. Whenever he cast that, his model would freak the hell out. Yeah, but I think that was part of the charm of the game, though. Differences are welcomed. Yeah, I agree. More people need to be, open to change in games, because I feel like some of the best games happen to be radically different from the rest of their series.
Wait!
A good example would actually be Shining Force, in my opinion, because it's very different from Shining in the Darkness, which was a dungeon crawler, as opposed to a tactical RPG. I might focus a bit on this one, because he's a bitch to fight. Ouch. Dang, he is very spammy with that attack, and it makes him immortal too. I'll get to the chat in just a moment. This boss is, he's not like a supposed to lose fight like you'd think with the amount of damage he's capable of outputting. Because I thought that was the case earlier, but he just decimated me instead. Ouch. There's also a high chance that I'm just under-leveled for this fight. Ouch. Stop. Okay, hold on. Or Fallout, that one's pretty famous for... I still await the day they remake Fallout 1 in a new engine. That's this engine. Honestly, the Fallout 4 creation engine isn't that terrible. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's terrible, but it's not, like, great either. It's one of those, like... It just kind of exists. Oh, there we go, finally. And congrats on the level up, that one, Hollow.
On your oath, are you truly the Devil Forge Master?
And if I am?
For one that served under Dracula, you seem much too weak. It's been said that the Devil Forge Master's power rivals that of death.
Ah, so you are hunting for Isaac as well, I see.
As well? Then you're not... Wait... I recall there was another Devil Forge Master. They say he betrayed Dracula and forswore his powers, but that was 3 years ago during the war. Could he have survived? It cannot be.
Believe what you like, but answer me this. Are you not Trevor Belmont, the one who defeated Lord Dracula?
That I am. Though I did not fight alone, there were many brave warriors beside me.
There were 2 of them.
And your name, sir?
Hector.
Hector. I shall remember that name.
Oof. That was rough. It's no id Tech, it's not even Unreal 4 levels, but it's not as bug shit as it used to be. Too bad Bethesda never seems to actually... Well, Bethesda has never in their lifetime been good at bug testing. I don't know if you've played Arena or Daggerfall, but they are just as buggy as every other Bethesda game. In fact, Daggerfall's probably the worst one. What? Oh. You love Fall 4, but well aware of how different it is from the others, especially with the weapon loading and language durability. Yeah, for me, I didn't really like it too much, personally. Not because it was bad, but it just wasn't my cup of tea. And I think that's a fair way to look at things, because everyone has their own opinions on a game. Some people may like one game, and others may absolutely be disinterested. Actually, a fairly good example of that was that Quest 64 game that I was talking about earlier. A lot of people don't like Quest 64, but there's also quite a few people who like Quest 64. Some may love a certain game and others may be wrong. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel with this game almost, because it was generally written off as being not very good, which is kind of sad. The irony is that while Daggerfall is buggy as hell, at the very least it also has the excuse of trying to do more, to do huge worlds and all. Just compare the ideals of the dev team back then and what they try to do versus like Skyrim, less of everything, and yeah. I think the biggest issue Bethesda ran into is that they tried to appeal to the masses, which isn't necessarily a problem, but when you've got a game that, you know, already has its community, when you try to change it too much, you can potentially alienate your old community. Though I don't think Bethesda did it, like, too terribly. I have definitely seen franchises handled worse. Things. These things can steal from you, and they also have, like, very tiny hitboxes. Sun tears. The innocence of the shining sun captured in amber will shine brightly for an eternity. I believe that's a crafting item. I'll have to find a new source of sun tears soon. Okay. I probably won't use that, but I'll keep it just in case. Worst thing about recent Bethesda games is for a studio known for they're trying to do hard to go away from the R and P and just keep the G. Yeah, I do agree personally, because when I was playing Skyrim, I basically had to mod it into Oblivion to enjoy my time there. But people do like the games, and I'm not gonna fault them for that. Because, again, everyone's got, like, things that they like, and some people enjoy Skyrim. I just don't myself. In fact, honestly, Oblivion was my favorite one. Though, in terms of a lore perspective, Morrowind was one of my favorites. Mostly because it was just really out there. I forget what this does. Okay. So that's a warp zone. I don't need that yet. Honestly, I would say the biggest issue that Bethesda has primarily is how they've handled PR recently. Because PR-wise, it's been kind of a nightmare. Another Devil Shard. Oh, well, I guess I can make 2 battle types. Well, yeah, they did get bought out by Microsoft, and I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing yet. It could be really good for the company. It could also be like nothing changed whatsoever. I remember when Rare was bought by Microsoft and everyone was not so happy about that. Nowadays, no one really cares because they brought along Sea of Thieves and it was actually kind of okay. The sale isn't really finished yet, and from what I've heard, Grapevine wants ZeniMax, but not specifically the studios underneath, so that could be bad or good. We'll certainly have to wait and see. Honestly, Microsoft has actually been kind of cool lately. I do wish that they would stop trying to buy everything out, but that's the same how I feel with Activision Blizzard or EA. In fact, I especially feel that for Activision and EA. I don't know if Microsoft would be quite as violent as EA is. I think EA is arguably one of the worst with the behind-the-sheds kind of thing. EA is, well, EA. Though that said, they did do something highly unusual for themselves recently with Star Wars Squadrons. Then again, they also did something highly unusual when A Way Out was released. And I don't think anyone even remembers A Way Out now. Yeah, that was probably the only game I've ever actually played where you could play, you know, using the demo to play with full version players and it not, like, having any major requirements other than the person who owns the full game has to be the host. if you want to play, you know, the entirety of the game. Which is kind of cool. I really enjoyed A Way Out. I actually still have recordings of when I played it with one of my friends. And, sorry, I had to adjust in the chair because it was starting to get a bit stiff. Yeah, they are certainly more hands-off. Whether that'll be, you know, continuing to be a good thing is another story entirely. We'll have to wait and see for any of, like, Respawn Entertainment's new stuff, whether they were given the ability to do what they want. Ouch. Because Respawn Entertainment actually made that, you know, fairly decent Star Wars Fallen Order. Ouch. Off until they need to get hands-on anyways. At least less fingers in the pie than back in the day when they wanted to say and everything. Yeah, though I don't imagine it'll last terribly long knowing the way EA likes to play. They've kind of always had interesting relationship with their developers. And while they weren't always, you know, completely and utterly money hungry, they did have quite a track record. 6 cents. Oh yeah, now I can do the auto parry thing. I am going to be right back, actually, for just a little bit. So, for now, just hold on. I just need to get some water. There we go. Sorry. Normally, I am actually smart enough to bring a drink when I am streaming, but this time I had actually completely forgotten to. Oh well. Did I miss something? I think I might have. But yeah, where was I? Yeah, EA is a little more hands-off-ish than they were, which is definitely true, but, we'll have to wait and see where that goes. EA is one of those companies where you kind of just have to... Really, you have to, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Keep your eyes peeled. That's not a word, but that's a phrase. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled when it comes to EA, because you never know what they're gonna pull next. It could be another Star Wars Battlefront 2. Whether it is or isn't is another story entirely, though. Honestly, though, I think Microsoft is the least evil publisher today, and I just hope they stick to that road. And yeah, honestly, I don't think Epic went down, you know, the drain, so to say, so much as Epic was probably a little too aggressive in their approach. Because what they were doing wasn't necessarily bad. The issue is the games they went after had already been announced to be coming on other platforms, which, you know, peeved off a lot of people. And there is some push to get things on the Windows Store, but it's usually for stuff that, will inevitably come to other platforms. For example, Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves wasn't on Steam for a while there. It is now. It wasn't initially. And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. Platform exclusivity should go away. Not be ported into, like, digital stores. While I do not like platform exclusivity, I do understand it to some very minuscule degree. Because generally, if all platforms had, you know, the same content, why would you get one system over another, for example? When it came to, like, the PlayStation 2 versus GameCube era, for example, it was, like, what did you want? Did you want Mario Sunshine? Did you want Grand Theft Auto? But in the terms of the digital storefronts, I feel like it is a little strange. Not that I necessarily mind if it's handled well. The problem is it's not been handled well. Honestly, the only storefront of the bunch that I've actually been okay with was Uplay. Yeah, how's that for strange? Like, I don't mind making a new account for a new service as much as some people do. Though I can understand why people don't want to do that. The only time I get a little miffed is when it's sort of a messy execution. Like, my issue with the Epic Games Store and all of its acquisitions was not so much, oh, it's bad because I need another account. For me, the issue I had with that was I need another account for for not only this thing, but I also have to deal with not having a lot of features most other storefronts do. Because they sell their crap through Steam, then require you play anyway. Yeah. I do realize that that's kind of a weird thing that Ubisoft does, but I don't know. I've never actually had too big an issue with it. I actually had more of an issue with Origin, mostly because it was... I guess the best way to put it is it didn't have enough interesting to me. Whereas Ubisoft had more things that I was actually interested in, like Rainbow Six Siege. Though, the Epic Games Store has one thing going for it that I will say, you know, to its credit, is that, at the very least, it has free monthly games. I wish more storefronts could afford to do something like that. 90. Okay. Let's see, where am I? So... Okay, okay. I should probably warp to... Valve probably could if they wanted to, but I doubt publishers/developers would be happy with that either. I don't know. It would heavily depend on how they handle it. If they did it like Epic Games, where, if I recall, the devs weren't really approached on the matter, that's another story.
Welcome. What can I do for you? Incubate a new one? Will that be all?
Alright, create a new one. Alright. This one will be named Stronk.
Will that be all?
And then this one will be Chad. I have a really good naming scheme. I mean, there have been occasional, like, buy free, keep forever games on Steam. Yeah, it has had that, and they have been really nice. I do kind of wish that they were more frequent, but oh well.
Will that be all? What can I do for you? What will it be today?
Only worth 4, jeez.
Changed your mind, huh? What will it be today? Changed your mind.
I have a question. Does your VTube thingy actually capture your movements, syncs with your words? Kind of. So, what this thing does is it captures my face, and while I'm moving around, it will, you know, move the head accordingly. But the mouth, because I'm using Live 2D, it will actually just detect whether my mouth is open or not, and depending on how wide open it is, it will, you know, respond accordingly.
What will it be? Changed your mind. What will it be? Changed your mind. What will it be today? Changed your. What will it be today? Changed your. What will it? Changed your mind. What will it be today? Changed your mind.
I don't think I have anything super worth selling.
Will that be all? Changed your mind.
How wide does it go? That wide.
Will that be all? What can I do for you? What will it be today?
If you want to screw with people, try talking with your mouth wide open. I mean, I could, but that's kind of hard to do and make it sound right at the same time.
Will that be all? Do your best.
Also, man, I do not remember there being such a gold drought in this game. Okay, I had to have taken like a wrong turn somewhere. Oh wait, no, I needed to use brute force. There we go. That's what I was missing.
Ah, I'm pleased to see you are unharmed.
Did you think me dead?
I saw him earlier. I feared that perhaps...
I came too late then. Which way did he go?
Along this path lies a forest. He went there, probably making his way to the village on the other side.
And what of your mission? To purify this land and remove the curse?
Yes, the curse. In the end, it is all Isaac. He is the source of this pestilence. He... Ah, how could I forget? There is a matter I must attend to. By your leave.
Weirdo. Oh, hey, it's the other weirdo.
You again.
Oh, it's you. I was expecting someone else. You spoke with him, didn't you?
And why should I answer to you?
Perhaps you'll accept my advice then. You would do well to avoid him. Do not be drawn in by his words.
Your advice is neither solicited nor welcome. I will use any means necessary to achieve my revenge.
You've been warned. I would like to speak with you further, but I must track him down quickly. He is the one being who is beyond my recollection. Goodbye for now.
Sus. Yeah, kinda. He's gonna turn evil any minute. It's Castlevania. Just about everyone who isn't, like, either a shopkeeper or, you know, Actually, no, priests tend to be pretty evil in Castlevania as well. I like that dude already. Oh yeah, this is one of the areas that has my favorite music track in the game. This game has an amazing soundtrack. Oh, and congrats on the level up too, Hero 2. I still need to figure out how to properly disable that damn thing. So I'm missing one skill. Next thing of that, I need to make a special weapon. So one thing about this game actually is special weapons can be so many different things. And before it's the insta-give skill. No, I'm trying to remember what it is. I've played this game a lot. If I remember correctly, it's something more or less inconsequential. bet it was dodge related. It might have been dodge related. Force level 2. Oh wait, I think I know what it is. I think it's perfect parry. Because I don't think I have that yet. It's a pretty invaluable skill. Get the hearts so my innocent devil is all healed up. Ouch. Alrighty. All this curse. Alrighty, there we go. Now, if I remember correctly, I am actually on the cusp of seeing a new innocent devil type. Ouch. Alright, that's one thing down. Honestly, I had kind of forgotten that these, like, turret sections are even in the game. So, it was certainly something else to return to that. Yes, everyone's favorite, the rail shooting. I don't think it happens too often in the game either. And welcome, Mr. Doomsby. Oh. That was a quicker kill than I expected it to be. Let's see, is there anything down there that would actually be of interest? Sometimes they have, like, pretty good... Ooh, money! Money is good. I mean, it's only money, but money is money, and I am always low on it. 500, that should buy a couple potions. Then I can stop having to worry about my fairy having to basically destroy itself to heal me. Yeah, I can't reach that until I get a crow. I believe that's close, though, so... over here to recharge the health of everything. Bring out Beefcake again. Alrighty. Now let's see what's up ahead. This one, like, revives them. Oh, I did get steel. Meaning I can make one of those items I was looking at. If I get another thing of steel, I can make a new armor piece. Supposedly the result of research into the ultimate weapon, but absolutely zero class and style. Yeah. There's actually a lot of ridiculous special weapons in this game. One of which is actually a minigun. Another is an electric guitar. I can't wait to get those because they are absolutely stupid. I believe the minigun just fires at, like, ridiculously high speeds. But I don't remember. It has been a bit. For all I know, it could actually be something that fires like peanuts. Mini crosses. That would be, in character for Castlevania. These guys drop steel. Might have to farm them at some point. Still need Sun Tears for that. Mini Draculas have tiny Draculas screaming, "Have at you!" That would be kind of amusing. Though I don't think the meme status of that line was quite established in, like, what, 2003? 2004? Yeah, I actually used to own this game on the Xbox, but we had to sell all of our old consoles. And I remember really liking it, and when I bought, you know, my PS2 Slim, I, you know, found out that it was also on PlayStation 2, so I got it on PlayStation 2. Well, the reason why it was as funny as it was is mostly to do with the fact that it just had such an interesting case of voice direction, as did most PlayStation 1 games. Jet Set Radio Future is just one of, if not just the best. I don't think I've actually played Jet Set Radio Future. I played the first Jet Set Radio a little bit on stream, but I didn't get particularly far in it. I might have to revisit it. There's another game that I want to revisit at some point that I played a lot when I was a kid. I struggle to remember the name of it. I think it was X-Men related. I know it was on PlayStation 2. Online server-based Jet Set Radio Future game, but I haven't played it myself. That sounds like it would be pretty interesting, actually. Maybe one of these days I should look into that. I know that there was, I think they called it Cyberfunk or something like that. That was a Jet Set Radio-inspired game. And it's like on Steam. Yeah, it's been on Steam for a while now. I forget how I found it. Haven't heard about it since the first trailer. Well, from what I understand, it's not exactly, like, super big. I didn't see many reviews on it. That's assuming I'm thinking of the right game. I just remember that it had, like, alien-type creatures as its main characters. And yeah, Cyberpunk is coming out soon. I still don't know if I'm actually excited or not, though. It's one of those things where I don't know why, I'm just worried. Because there is way too many of these boys. If they delay it again for even a day, it's dead. I don't know about that, actually. Some people are so dead set on it, like, you know, coming out, that they're willing to wait no matter what. Hold on. For me, though, like, I don't know why, I'm getting the same feeling I got when Anthem was announced. Because, for me, Anthem gave me a very specific feeling, and I just knew something was gonna go wrong. Well, not physically, but they are basically destroying any sense of light after the November update. It's like, yeah, I'm not excited anymore. Yeah, there is such thing as coming public too early. And I feel like Cyberpunk 2077 definitely came too early. Yeah, usually I have a pretty good sense for that as well. I definitely predicted that Anthem was going to be a complete mess. I didn't want to be right, though. Because it looked like it would actually be a lot of fun, but it wasn't. I didn't buy it, so there's that. It also ended up being one of those games where you could just look at the gameplay and you could just tell that it wasn't going to be your kind of game. Expect the worst, hope for the best. Yeah, honestly, that's the best way to treat it. Especially in the day and age where Day 1 patches have become more or less the norm. That said, that you do occasionally get interesting situations like No Man's Sky, where, honest to God, it was a dumpster fire on launch. But after a while, they really improved it. Can this guy stop knocking me around? There we go. Too old and cynical to hope for anything. For me, I have a lot of hope for games, but I usually am not going to give games that are made by companies like Activision Blizzard or EA much chance in comparison to something that might be made by, say, Capcom. Because I'm willing to give Capcom more of a chance than something like Activision. And then I'm not even going to give the time of day to Konami. Which is a shame, because I really enjoyed their games. And then, well, a lot of things happened. It really cannot be understated just how much happened with Konami. A lot of things were removed or underwhelming on launch of No Man's Sky, and now their to-do list for updates includes things their non-social manager gave non-committal promises to everyone. Unfortunately. Yeah. No Man's Sky has had a very weird arc. like really wanted out of the video gaming market and just decided to go full tilt on that and shot themselves in the foot with a shotgun 20 times just to get out. Oh yeah, that's basically how Konami went. I'm still extremely confused by what they did. I don't think I've ever seen a company that can only really be described as allergic to money. Because they definitely had something pretty good on their hands and then decided that it wasn't good for them. Sega tried... Oh, I think my favorite look at what happened is Internet Historian's video on it. I'll have to look at that at some point. Sega tried and then was like, fine, we're gonna stick around, but no. Yeah. Sega has actually been doing okay. I do wish it didn't take like 8 years for the Phantasy Star Online 2 thing to come out. Also, the entire, like, North American launch for it was kind of, I just wish, like, it had all the content at launch, rather than being as sporadic as it was. Like, Phantasy Star Online 2 is a fun game and all, but man, it is... I guess the best way to put it is poorly tutorialized. It's one of the few games I'd actually say pay attention to the tutorial in, which doesn't happen very often. Most of the time I'd tell you to just skip. But if you skip the tutorials in Phantasy Star Online 2, you're gonna end up lost and severely gimped. And chances are your character will be complete garbage. And you're just popping out devil shards left and right. I think the best games are the games that don't really need a tutorial. I agree. Oh, it's evolving already. Liquid Golem. And yeah, I definitely agree. If a game needs tutorials, usually I would hope that it's a more minimalist approach. A good example actually being Dark Souls. Dark Souls doesn't really need a lengthy tutorial. It basically just gives you the button commands and then it expects you to just make do. Find everything out yourself. And I like that approach, personally. Even more super complex games can be that way. Yeah. And then you've got games like Arma. I don't think even a tutorial could help you with Arma. Arma is a very, very unique beast. Yeah, it does let you run against that wall to learn everything, and Dark Souls does that too, actually. Though, between the two, I think Dark Souls does it better. Primarily because the way Dark Souls handles its tutorial is basically, here's the buttons, go hog wild. Whereas Arma will require you to kind of explore the keyboard a bit. Actually, Elite Dangerous is another one that kind of suffers from that. Actually paid attention to the tutorial messages in Dark Souls. I legit just push buttons to see what each does, and then, well, off I went, pressing buttons at things until things stop being things. Yeah, for me, I paid attention to the buttons, and it helped for things like the plunging attack and parry. But I still definitely prefer the way Dark Souls handles it compared to some other games. Actually, come to think of it, Half-Life 2 handles it about the same way. It basically just gives you, like, the button prompts. Then again, you tend to also be good at picking up how a game functions. Yeah. The main reason tutorials exist isn't because, you know, it's so complicated you need to be able to know how it plays. The main reason tutorials exist is because not everyone is familiar with game mechanics as a whole. Because if you pick up Dark Souls and give it to someone who has never played a game before, those tutorial messages are insanely helpful. Ouch. That said, I wonder how someone who has literally never played a game in their lives would handle something like I Want to Be the Guy. That would probably be an interesting experience to watch. Yeah. Though, honestly, Dark Souls isn't really a hard game, if I'm going to be honest. Like, Dark Souls is challenging, I guess, but it's never really something that's, like, as hard as people have made it out to be. trying to think of a game that isn't, made to be complete, you know, completely torture that makes for a good example of, like, legitimately hard games. I guess Ninja Gaiden on the Xbox. I mean, I've heard some stories of people who have never played the Souls games. One in particular, he played Bloodborne without any knowledge of much of the game at all, and had basically brute forced his way into killing the cleric beast with his bare hands. Yeah, that takes some patience. I imagine it's ultimately up to the person that you have playing, whether it'll be painful or not. That's just spite. I don't know about that. It could be spite, it could be patience. Again, it really depends on the person playing. Okay. Boss time. And if I remember correctly, this one's pretty annoying. Mostly because of that. That message soon enough. Ouch. I hate bosses like this. Ouch. Okay, then. come land again? We got some level up that one hollow. Ugh. Alright, come on. There we go. Spite, the #1 driving force of human progress. It always starts with, bet you can't do this, you should not do this, and this is answered by, hold my beer. Yeah, pretty much. That said, some people are also very patient in general. Certain individuals, when they play the Soulsborne type games, their main reason for continuing past the part where most people would probably just throw up their arms and say, that's it, I'm done, is because they think that that's how the game is supposed to be. So they don't, like, get frustrated by anything of that nature because they expect to be dying a lot. Alright, the crow. What to name a crow? He's small. Took perverse pleasure in breaking Souls games, like getting into stupid positions and then using arrows on anything. Oh, I did that a lot too, on my first playthrough. I think just about everyone on their first ever playthrough of Dark Souls starts it by basically just using arrows when they really shouldn't. Alright. Well, with that, I have been streaming for about 2 hours now. Oh, you did that on all your playthroughs? Yeah, some people play differently. Me, I've been playing basically naked with a Zweihander and charging into everything. That's how I play. But anyways, in this situation, it is actually time for me to wrap up the stream for the day. So, thank you all for coming. That one Hollow, 2Hero2, Osai, Icos for a brief period of time. And I think that's everyone who came in. But yeah, thanks for coming around. I'm going to head back to my grave. So, cheers!